Record to. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for joining. We have a very special guest today, Lola. She's here with us today, and thank you again for making time for me and my community. And they've been looking forward to it. I know they have a ton of questions. Again, we have some other people coming. They're a little bit late. They're actually on the East Coast, so I know they were super looking forward to it. But I want to just go ahead and let you introduce yourself, Lola, and then tell us about yourself and how you got into home care and all that jazz.
Uh, yeah, again, without the notes, so I'm gonna be it's gonna be a quickly introduction. My name is Lola Mananova. I'm the CEO of Aurora Home Care. We're located in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and we actually offering services in the Philadelphia metro area. It's mean 5 counties around. And 3, 4 years ago, we actually expanded to other counties, which is Lancaster County. We're going toward Harrisburg, let's put this way, because before somehow the home care rule was that you can actually provide services on the 60 miles perimeter. So that's why we opened another office in 120 miles. So we have 60, another 60, and another 60. So it's kind of like, but now, 2 years ago, they decided not to do this because telehealth and everything, you can do supervision visits without being there. So yeah, now that's not a rule. So we actually randomly can open not on the main offices, which have to be licensed. So now we can open the. Sorry, somebody's calling me. Why are they calling me now? Um, so now you actually can open smaller offices, which actually only for paperwork. That people can bring timesheets. They can do their personal files or any questions or any copies of their documentation that can be brought there. Anyway, oh, it's about me. I'm sorry. And how I got to the home care business, I actually was invited to be a marketer for my own community, and I do speak Farsi and Russian. And I worked for 6 months, and I got very, very interested. Still my telephone. I'm sorry. I'm talking here. Иди возьми машинку. Okay, что здесь тогда? So sorry, it's my grandson. So yeah, and I worked for 6 months, and I realized how much I like it. I like helping people. I like actually helping people. Mostly, I started with those who doesn't speak English, and in half a year, I was the director of this center. And then 2 years later, I decided to open my the home care agency because in the adult daycare community, you are very limited with the license of how many people you can actually help. So our license was 450 people, and that's it. And home care actually gives you an opportunity to help much more and to be involved much more with the communities. And what I did, um, seeing how people struggling with documentation on they cannot speak English, their kids struggling with that. So what I did, I actually started home care agency for smaller communities. And as of today, we speak 13 languages. I mean, obviously my overhead is crazy because I have to have 13 marketers who speak those languages, 13 coordinators who speak those languages, social workers, home health aides. It's much more, but this niche actually helped us to grow a lot because when when people coming and they have documentation translated to their language, when they understand who pays for that, what kind of services they're gonna get, how many hours do they have, when they have the whole rights, regulations, policies, everything was translated actually by certified agency. And я разговариваю, я сейчас приду, иди деда позови, иди возьми машинки, иди мультфильм поставить. So that helped us a lot to grow, and we actually are 25th biggest employer in Bucks County area as of today. And after we organized all this for waiver program, then I decided to go further because there is behavioral health also who need help with languages. There is pediatric services. There is vet assist program. Also medical, obviously, it's nursing, physical therapy, occupational therapy. So we do have all these programs. So that helped us to grow a lot more. So, and here we are today. I mean, I definitely, um, I rather answer all your questions because I can talk and talk like hours
Me
about all
too. I
that.
I feel the same way too when people ask me about home care. So just so I understand, you started in one county, and then did you get another license for county 60 miles over, or did you just create like this under the same license, or you had to get another one?
No, you have to have every time when you have another office in Pennsylvania, you have to have
Another.
every office has to be licensed.
But now you're not though, correct? Now it's all under one?
No, we have all these licenses. What I meant by 60 miles perimeter, that now we don't have to to stay in this perimeter. We can expand with the same license. So as of today, I have three licenses in three different counties. But to expand, I don't need them anymore because I can work actually from one of those offices. And I mean, obviously, we're not going to Erie, which is 900,000 miles. Who gonna do supervisions there, and how we're gonna work there? But on the let's say on the scale of expanding counties, yeah, every other county which is nearby, yes, we can expand and we can work there.
And you started off with home care, and now what you just described with everything with home health, we call it home health in California. So the PT speech. So you went from home care to pretty much like home health. Isn't that medical considered medical?
No, before my agency is 17 years old, and before in Pennsylvania we had no home cares at all. It has to be home health care,
Ah, okay.
and then under home health license you do everything else. So then I think in 2015 they came up with the just home care license. So
Understood.
what we did, we've got another license, and then we actually divided our clients for medical and non-medical. But first it was a medical. And
Okay.
from the day one, yes, it was medical license.
Understood. And I know that recently you just bought another one, correct? Couple months.
That one, that which we bought in Reading, yes, we expanded and we bought a small agency there. Now I can say we're like three times bigger than it was when we bought it. And yeah,
Home care or home the
no,
medical?
it was just home care. Yeah.
On medical? Okay.
Mhm,
I
mhm,
definitely want to talk to you about that because I'm going through something similar with purchasing um
mhm.
home care I'm non-medical, so I definitely will leave that for I'll just leave that for me and you later, unless I mean
Okay.
but because I know for majority of my community members, they're brand new to home care. They're in the very, very beginning. They either just got their licenses, they're trying to market. Wow, we're having so many people join. This is the most we've ever had.
Uh-huh.
Excited. They're just starting, they just got their license, they don't know how to get clients. So I'm helping in that aspect. Obviously, my scope is limited because primarily my clients, the way that I've gotten them is referral agents, placement, uh, they're called placement agents in California, where, the discharge planner or the case manager calls this person and then they place them in a boarding care or a home care agency or something like that. So I know I have people from all over the United States, all the way from East Coast, Texas, Georgia, California, Midwest. I had a couple. Well, obviously, I want to introduce you, but just so you understand the community, they're pretty much brand new, starting off. So like one of the questions that I wanted to ask is like, if you were to go back and do it again from scratch, what is something different you would have done when you first started for home care?
Yes, I would have done probably my homework more thoroughly because, again, everybody thinking that again, it is a nice business. It is a very good business, but you really have to be passionate about this, first of all. And second, that homework, how many agencies around you? How many referral sources you have around? What is your niche and how you are different? We all under the same program, we're all under the same roof, we're all under the same rules, regulations, policies. I mean, state to state it can vary, but it doesn't mean um, that you can get paid more than agency next door to you, right? So then you have to sit down and think about it. This is how I came up with the languages, that we're the only agency who actually provide the translation. And any hospital I went to, I got contracts right away because the social workers were struggling. They needed to wait for some phone line to get this person online, and then 2 hours to explain what and how and everything. When here we are, she can call and say, "Hey, listen, can you talk please to this client? Can you explain them what's going to happen?" But they cannot leave hospital without home care services. But they don't understand this. So it's all was so fast, fast, fast. On a fast track. So every social worker, we're so happy to have us that actually contract was ours. Every hospital around us, we are there. But on the other side, you cannot go market yourself and tell them, give me the client. This is the first rule number, like no, 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 never. You have to actually offer your services, what you can do differently than anybody else. For that, you're doing your extra steps. Extra steps mean you can find out how to put somebody who has no program at all and groom your own clients instead of just going there and telling that, oh, this agency is not good, we're better, so come and be with us. I don't think it's fair. Other agency spent money on marketing. They did their job. They brought this client on board, and here you are giving 50 cents more. I mean, yeah, this is the way too, but I don't think this is the right way. So what we do, actually, we do events. We see when somebody is there and interested in the program, but they don't have this program. I'm giving them a social worker who actually goes with them step by step through the state regulation to get on board with the program. Are they eligible, not eligible? How it's going to work for them? Where they live? Do they own the house or they don't own the house? So it all depends how it's on your state rules. Like in Pennsylvania, you have to be on Medicaid level, no house, no, expensive car, no money on your bank account. So all that you have to know which company actually helps them to get to the program. So when you do your homework with that and you're helping this person all the way to do in Pennsylvania, it's 5 steps. All the 5 steps, obviously by the end of the fifth step, they already know you, they love you, they thank you, probably like barely. When it was a rare case when people actually said, oh, thank you very much, we're going to another agency. Most of the time they stay with you. This is your client, you groomed them, you actually brought them to the point that they became your client. And now it's all up to you what kind of services your office going to provide to them and how they're nice going to be to them and how they're going to explain everything. So now they have to love their coordinator, their home health aide. Sometimes they become, well, home health aide actually become like a family member for them, even more. So now it's all up to your agency how you're going to keep your client happy.
Right.
And happy, it's mean being super nice to them, super patient, like you really have to understand all their needs and problems
Yes.
and never say no to, I mean, to the
Reason.
certain point, never say
Reasonably.
no that, okay, we cannot help you. And at this point, when your client already on board with you, now you make friends around, like with who? Transportation company, meal on wheel company, whatever services they need. And then when they're coming with you with the question, like, how do I get this? Or here, you can use this transportation company and go to a doctor. They're going to take you there and they're going to bring you back. And this is how you help. They
Mhm.
don't know it's not your company. They don't care if it's your company.
Mhm.
All they care that you actually found a solution
Yeah.
for every question they have. So this is how that would have been probably if I would have done this from very beginning, but I did not know all the state programs, so I didn't do my homework probably very well. So all this came after we already opened, and then like, oh my God, there is this program and that program and that program, and this is what we can add
To your
to
services.
our clients, right? Don't be like, oh, why do I have to help this company? No, you're helping each other.
Exactly.
Plus, let's say transportation company, if I'm sending them clients and telling them please provide good service, if I know they're not providing good service, obviously I'm going to find another one. But they also, having good relationship with you, if they're going to hear
Mhm.
while they're driving your client that they're not happy with their home care agency because I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
that they're not nice to her, or they did not
Pick her up on
do
time.
something if she asked, right, or if she needed an extra hour, or somebody go with her to a doctor appointment and they always told her no. Then they're going to tell them, hey, listen, there's an agency who we're working with, and maybe you should call them and talk to them, and
The word
get
of
your
mouth.
answers there.
Powerful. The word
Right.
is very powerful. And again, it's something that you guys won't know until you guys are physically out there doing that kind of work. So it's one thing to like, take these classes, do the Q&As, but if you're not physically out there and going to multiple events, you're just not going to learn because I know Lola and me, I mean, I thought I did decent homework until I started the agency. And then I was going out and I was hearing about all these different programs and I would meet these people when I would be out. And there's been times where I thought I wasted my time. But then I remember, oh my God, at this event, I met this person. They have a boarding care home and they need people to come in and out on the weekends. So you guys never know the connections you make unless you physically leave and go do the actual action you need to do to network. So never feel like, oh, I went to three places and nobody like helped me. I know a lot of people get discouraged with, and these events are expensive too. If you're like, sponsoring them, it's very time consuming. I know a lot of you guys are doing, this as a second job, but getting out in the community is when you have your ears to the ground and you can be like, oh, you know what? This is what I keep hearing. I could do that differently with my home care agency. So never go into an event thinking, let me get clients. I learned that the hard way because
Yes.
I was like, I'm gonna go to this networking event. I'm gonna sponsor this booth for $500. I'm gonna get all the clients. And that never happened. Never. But what did end up happening is I met somebody from home health. I met somebody that was a case manager. I met somebody who had a green burial site. And those connections help me get our names out there. So, like Lola said, don't go in there thinking, this is how I get clients. That's just that for me personally, I've only been doing this 2 years, and I'm sure Lola can feel the same. It never works that way. The way that the connections happen is just completely different. You have to go in there and be like, this is what I do, this is how I can help you. But now I'll actually open it up if you guys have questions. I know a couple of you guys did mention you guys wanted to talk to her. So if you guys want to unmute yourself and talk or put it in the chat, just go ahead and do it. We have her for another 40 minutes. So go ahead and unmute yourself.
Где ты поиграешься? Иди, мне надо работу закончить, я же работаю. Ой.
Hi, I'm Zai. Hello.
Hey.
Thank you very much for that insight. That is a lot of good, nice to know information. Um, if you had to do it all over again,
Mhm.
would you just buy a pre-existing business or would you start from scratch again?
No, I probably would start again from scratch. I mean, right now it's impossible in Pennsylvania because you can get a license, you cannot get contracts. I mean, obviously here I would have been in a situation that yes, you have to buy an agency who actually already contracted with MCOs. But I know a lot of states don't have MCOs and they're still working with Medicaid. So it's better to build from scratch. First of all, I bought already agency once, and a few years later, it came back that somehow Medicaid, we built from the certain date, our billing, they billed till this date, but somehow it's got mixed up that they thought that their previous billing was ours. Like something happened there. Nobody got this money, but we're still going lawyer to lawyer and explaining ourselves why this is but why they are wrong. And people who actually where they are doing dealing with this billing like what 6 7 years ago, they're not there anymore. So these new people cannot understand the concept that when you're buying an agency, the bill, if I bought it and I'm billing from, let's say, January 1st, they still billing it for the past 60 days or whatever they didn't build yet, or certain, sorry, yeah, got the call, or certain the cases, they had no timesheets, so they billed it later. So now they treating this money, which came after January 1st, like they billed at the same time when we start billing. So it's a lot of questioning right now. Also, but again, it's technicality. But also, why I would do it from day one myself. Again, you need to find your niche and do it your way. It's very hard to reduce something which people did earlier. And when sometimes people come to me and they start working and they telling me, "Oh, in our agency we did this way." I don't care. I do it my way, and either you have to learn to do it my way, or we cannot work together because there is a lot of confusion about home care business, and all you do, you're gonna get your stricter rule, and you go by that. Some people think that, oh, okay, state allows us to do this. Why we have to care about federal or so it's a lot of things to redo anyway when you're buying an agency. It's very hard. Plus, you bought the agency, and trust me, 1/3 of the patient you're gonna lose. It's a very panicky situation when you're buying an agency and there is a change of ownership. 1/3 of the client until you're gonna get through the process and everything. Those who are gonna be panicking, they're gonna leave because what happening? Why it's all confidentiality when you're buying an agency. Other agencies, the minute they know that you're for sale, they're gonna go after your client, telling them, "Oh, they get selling. You're gonna lose your hours. You're gonna lose your program. You're gonna lose this." I mean, this is horrible. This is not right. But a lot of people do that, and that's why I mean, for me personally, I would have done it from scratch myself. It's mine, and my rule, my regulations. Yeah.
Thank you, Lola. I didn't,
Thank you.
um, but like that, I mean, it makes sense. Nobody likes change, especially something as big as switching companies or a new owner. But as something definitely, I felt like I need to take a note on that, especially with me trying to purchase another home care.
No, one more thing I can add, that when people trying to sell the agency, they're not making this decision spontaneously. Like today, I want to sell it tomorrow. You know what I mean? They're taking their time, and what they do, they eliminate for the few last months. They eliminate everything what they were spending money for, to
Mhm.
bring the margins like higher, because I mean the multiplier is there, right? So there's a formula, and this is how you buy it. So what they do, they eliminate. Let's say they were spending on marketing 10,000. I mean, I'm just throwing numbers. 10,000. Now they're spending only two. But you're seeing the results of 10,000, which was spent like 6 months ago, and you see that, oh, okay, they're getting 6 patients a month, or 10 patients a month. But now, and not, it's only 2,000 they're spending it. Whatever you're gonna go back and forth, you really have to see what they took out of those spending, which were exist, which was there, and they can tell you anything. Like let's say, oh, in December you spent $100,000. For what? We spend it to give bonuses to our employees, to our home health aides. I don't know. We did the party, the corporate party, and this and that. Yeah, but now it's not going to happen. So it's 100,000 comes back. But who told you that you're not going to do this next year, right? It's your employees. You also want to do the bonuses, the corporate thing, but they're not going to count all that. They're going to count this as a net profit. So when you're gonna be going through all this, you really have to be careful, because no matter what, buying agency today, you're gonna overpay. You will,
Mhm. Yeah.
unless it's not a license, which is in the very beginning. And what about? I think you're getting like in by 30th patient, you should be but even with your debit and credit. So unless it's a small agency with this amount of people, then maybe there is a potential yes, I can buy it. Yes, I can grow it from this point. But the minute it goes to a hundreds, you're definitely overpaying because multiplier now is crazy.
Yeah, and I know you said you just bought one a few months ago and you already
No,
3x.
not a few months ago. We bought it a few years ago.
Oh, that was a few years ago. And you
Yes, yes, and we bought it. We bought it by that time. Prices they were like multiplier was 3 4. Right now, multiplier can be 10. And again, it's crazy how it's all overpaid and everything. For a bigger corporation, it's good. I mean, for them, by end of the year, it's tax deductible and everything. But
how were you,
when you
I know you said you grew it. It's three times the size.
yes.
How were you able to grow it? Was it the same language that you and the programs or the Medicare programs they
No, it was a regular agency. It was 80 patients they had, and amazing administrator. She's absolutely. I don't know. I'm very lucky with people. I'm like, it's every time I'm meeting somebody, people around me and my team love them. So I asked her to stay and work with us. And when I talked to her, I found out each and every flaw why they didn't grow more than that. Because before that, they were there for 10 years or 8 years, 8 years. And for 8 years, only 80 patients, I was really surprised. And when she explained me that this is only one of the offices this family had, and the owners in another city, and you know how it works. If the owner is not in the business not going to grow to the point that you wanted to see it to grow. And what happened, they came there once in 6 months just to check in, like, how are you, how is everything. And this poor girl, she was doing the whole thing for them. And for her, not being an owner, it's actually, very hard to understand what do you want, what kind of marketing you want, how you want to grow it and everything. Plus she has to be on a budget. If I told her that, okay, here's your budget for marketing, and that's it, and she spent it in the first 3 months, then 9 months she's sitting there without budgeting on the market, a marketing budget. So that's why me being here like 1 hour 20 minutes away, I was there every week for the first year. Now I'm there every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. But we actually came up with the strategy, what we're doing, where we're going, and because they already were there and they already established their relationship with the coordinators, with the social workers, with the hospital. Now it was much easier. We don't need to go and introduce ourselves. So she went there and she said, oh, okay, now we can be here and we can help. We can bring social worker who gonna work with your clients. You can call us here. You can call us there. Um, we can employ people. Go to church and say that we can employ more people. So that's what helped us because we actually had a base,
Yeah.
and we just explored what. Actually, we found out that there was 24 cases which were because of overtime and everything, they actually were bringing their revenue down.
Oh, so you fixed the
We fix, yes, yes. This is what I'm talking about. When you buy an agency, then you're gonna find out all
yeah.
kind of like, oh, we have 80 patients. So what? 24 of them were 24/7, and only two home health aides who working there 7 days a week with all their overtime
Exactly.
and everything. And they want the medical and they want 401k, they want this and that. That's it. You kind of minus 200-300 every week.
My biggest revenue thing, okay, the biggest thing I did to save our profits was to fix the caregivers and
Yes.
the scheduling will eat you alive if you don't do it right. And that was my problem. I was getting so many clients, 24-hour cases. I'm like, okay, I'll just take everybody. And then when I saw the overtime on my P&L, I was like, oh my God. And so once we fixed the overtime, once we fixed the scheduling, that like course corrected, but you have to stay on top of it. You have to.
So, not only that, I do understand the home health aid. I mean, guys, we are on the budget of the state and on the mercy of the state. So when they're telling us you have to pay this much or you have to pay this much, But by the end of the day, with overtime and everything, obviously you're gonna bring the
Yeah.
pay rate down to actually to be on this uh, to have this margin and actually to be somewhere that at least you can afford their taxes and their stuff and working compensation insurance and your liability insurance and everything has to be there.
Mhm.
So you you actually explaining them on the paper, like showing them one by one. This there is no big secret, or it's actually public information, and you're giving them the exact price you're getting paid. You're giving them their rate, you're giving them their overtime, and then you put there the percentage of your working compensation, the percentage of the office, and because anybody who works in the office, they're not producing any money. They actually the ones who spending this money, right? You have to pay them. Then your electricity, then your phone, and this. So you coming with the percentage. Let's say of I'm paying $15, and then to match their Medicare, social security, again working compensation, liability, all your utilities and everything. So let's say you came up with the 23%. So you really have to understand that. Okay, now 50, if I'm paying $15 there, 22.50 gonna be your overtime. But state give me only 21.50. Where am I right now? That's it. I'm on minus. So I need to know how many hours overtime max I can give. It can be only 5 or only 10. It's all depend again. But Pennsylvania, unfortunately, from all our tri-state areas here and everything, we have the lowest rate. And that's why we really have to be creative, like how we're gonna do all the scheduling and everything. So now, when you come up with your overtime, here is your regular time, here is your 23% overheads on top of it, and where are you at? If I'm even near 21.52, which I'm getting paid, I'm not gonna take the case. It's not, or unless I want to do charity case and I really want to help the family, I will, because I'm not losing money, but I'm not making money. But not every case can be charitable, right? So we really have to see what we're doing, at least to make some money there.
Exactly.
And that's why yeah, there is a formulas which you can come up yourself, sit down and see how it works, but be very, very careful. Everything has to go there, everything.
You have to count all the numbers, yeah, and that's how you'll figure out what's worth your time and what you need to charge. I know there's a lot of competition on who's the lowest, but honestly, do you guys want to be the lowest and then have to pay for that type of clientele? Well, speaking as private pay, that's what I kept running into because we were being lowballed, and I was like, I just can't. We paid our caregivers too high. California, it's overtime, workers' comp. Workers' comp for caregivers is they're like roofers. So, the certain percentage of our payroll goes there too. So make sure you guys are in your numbers. And if you're not good with it, honestly, you guys can go and find a bookkeeper that can at least explain like a baseline of what you guys need to understand. But make sure you're charging what's worth your time. And what you can't, like for me, for example, I know after I did my math, I can't go under 2,300 hours every 2 weeks. So at minimum, to include all my staff, to include my caregivers, everything, my overhead, we cannot go under 2,300 hours every 2 weeks. So if we're at 2,300 hours and above, we're fine. But the moment we hit 23 hours and below, I need to start pulling people off of staff. And they know that. So the girls, my team, they know, oh no, we're at 2,200 hours. We got to go find hours. So it's a good incentive too for your company when you're very transparent with them. Because I'm very honest with my caregivers, especially when they're good and they try to come to you for raises. And it's like, okay, let me show you what I'm paying you. Let me show you what these other agencies are paying you. And this is what we're making. So when you break it down to them too, they understand the bigger picture and they do like when you're that transparent about your guys' finances, it just helps the agency. We literally publish in our company group chat, hey, our hours are down. You guys can help us step in. Let's get these clients to extend or whatever. It just becomes a group effort. But yeah, if you guys please interrupt if you guys have questions, put it in the group chat. I want to make sure your guys' questions are answered because me and Lola can talk.
I'm a little bit with the accent, but listen, as long as
Hi, I have a quick question
Yeah,
here.
go ahead. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so thanks for the conversation. I've kind of learned a lot already from this. So I'm a software engineer actually, just trying to learn more about the home healthcare space, just fascinated with like everything you guys do. Um, I'm just curious to learn more about like what are the challenges, like problems and operational headaches that you guys face, right?
But my
Oh,
people. It's people. Yeah, it's
that's what I wanted to say. It's a human factor.
human. Yeah.
Unfortunately, with the employees, I mean, obviously we have and rules and regulations in employee book, but not a lot of people actually interested to sit down to, I mean, go through every aspect of it and say, okay, I understood. I mean, they just sign it and that's it. And then when something happened and you asking people why you did this or why this happened or why what is going on, they like, oh, I didn't know. And then you're showing them the paper where they signed it that I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to be careful, I'm not going to wear heels or to go to work or, something like that. And then like, oh, okay. So that probably education is the most important part of home care business because even it seems like, oh, okay, they're gonna go there, cook, clean, do this, some errands, and that's it. It's easy, right? No, it's not. They have to know the ethics. Like, plus, let's say, for me, with the 13 languages, we needed actually to doing services and teach them that when you come into the family, let's say Indian family, you have to take your shoes off and they if they hug you it's a normal thing, it's not, it's a cultural um for them accommodate you and give you a tea and ask you, how is it about your family. So we needed to teach about each and every community what you can do and what you cannot do, which is like, let's say Asian community, you cannot hug, you just have to put your two hands, say hi, bye, and leave. So it's a lot to learn. And if you actually gonna have a good program, educational program, you're gonna avoid a lot of mistakes. But the most challenging part for me was, yes, it's a human factor. Human factor means again that somebody didn't thought that it's gonna be that's gonna be wrong to do, or somebody didn't thought that 15 minutes late to work gonna cause my patient end up in the hospital, or again, I mean, I can talk a lot about this,
Yeah,
but yeah,
no,
most challenging is people.
same
Yeah.
for me. It's because of the industry that we're in, home care, that we do, you need a lot of people. So like it's not like, e-commerce or royalties or anything like that. So this industry specific, unless you are good with managing people and emotions and personalities and temperament and have enough emotional like regulation within yourself, it can be very overwhelming. And so for me personally, I felt like I was built for this because like just my background with the military, I'm the oldest of 10 kids. Like I'm really good with large amounts of people. And I was a trainer in the military. So like Lola said, we have a very stringent like training program. We have quarterly evaluations. So every 3 months, we are sitting with every single caregiver. We have like 96. We sit with every single caregiver. We go over what the expectations are. And I noticed personally for me, when I start making stupid rules in the agency, I know there's something's not being properly trained. So for example, one point in time in our home care agency, I realized that my caregivers were showing up looking crazy. Like they would come in hoodies, house shoes, hair bonnet, and I was like, why was it not clear at the orientation? Was it not in the handbook? So then I realized that I just need to start like the way that I dealt with that was I started thanking the caregivers for showing up looking like I remember one of the clients commended how one of our caregivers showed up with really nice hair. And her makeup was nice. And so I told in the group chat, hey, thank you, Sarah. The client really appreciates how professional you looked. They got a lot of compliments about how nice your hair was. So I stopped focusing on putting stupid rules and I started focusing on, hey, Jonathan, they really appreciate you showing up in scrubs, even though you don't have to show up in scrubs. It just looks very professional. So once I started addressing the the characteristics or the behaviors of the things that were doing good, I noticed everything else kind of fell away. And then it's just you have to learn to manage a lot of people, a lot, especially in home care. So if you don't have that in you, or you're like, hey, I just want it to plug and play, this is not the industry for you at all. Because even if you're not doing the caregivers, you're doing your staff. So even though I'm removed from my caregivers, I still have like 8 staff members that I need to regulate constantly, and you have to be there for them. You can't be in.
Actually, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Actually, with the staff in the office, guys, this is so important that they, even when they talk on the phone, they have to smile because the other side can feel that you're smiling. We actually made a game during the lunch, and I'm buying lunch for the office, and we, when we discuss twice a week, 3 times a week, we are having lunch together. I actually bought an Amazon like a small like kids toy phone, and while we're sitting there, I actually was calling and talking to one of them from the end of the table, asking them questions about like what services, what this, the other ones are laughing, but this person like looking at me like, why do I have to answer? And I'm like, when you're gonna learn how to answer with the smile,
Mhm.
this when your customer is gonna be happy, even if they're angry, and most of the time, not even them, their relatives even drive you crazy, but you smile and you answer every question with the same voice. You cannot even, because they are struggling right now. Their mom's struggling, their father's struggling, they're frustrated about that. It has nothing to do with you, and you cannot actually react and be upset about this. These people need help, and we are here to help. That's it.
Yeah. I hope that answered your question, Hans, but yeah, it's a lot of people skills.
Yeah, that makes sense. Does this also like affect the like the turnover, right, for caregivers?
How do you mean?
Like is like from like just researching, I saw like turnover is really high in the industry as well. It's like at least from like the stats, it was like 80%.
Oh, it's super high. The turnover rate is super high with caregiving because so for our retention's at 70%. We have one of the highest retention rates within like 4 counties. So that and honestly, when I first started getting my caregivers and the ones staying with us is because we offer higher pay, we're super respectful, we communicate, and if there's a problem, we talk about it. So a lot of the complaints that I got from caregivers that were coming to me from other agency was like if there was like, for example, we're a staff, ultimately at the end of the day, we're a staffing agency. That's what we are, right? So nobody's promised full-time hours. No, it's like, whatever we have available for clients. So one of the things that the complaints was, the office staff was playing favorites with other caregivers. So there's specific caregivers that will always get hours, they would never get hours. And so there was a lot of tit for tat, and like they just weren't getting paid. They were getting paid minimum wage where in California, $16. I pay $20 to $22 an hour. So it was like low pay. They're being jerked around on their schedules. Nobody's from the office is communicating, what's going on with the hours. And like for us, for example, every week we have a goal hours and we communicate that. And so for me and my agency, we have a pretty high retention. In fact, it's a little too high. Some of the caregivers I want to leave aren't leaving. So, but it comes from constant communication. I do team bonding events with my caregivers every other month with their families. We have a barbecue coming up. At the end of the year, I do a caregiver appreciation ball. Like I do a lot for my employees, and it doesn't let up. You have to keep doing it. It's not like employee of the month and then you don't talk to them for like 30 days. It's where we have a chat on business WhatsApp, and my team, the scheduling team, I have 3 people. They're all remote. in the Philippines, but every week, all three of them send out two shout outs each for different caregivers. So it's like, hey, Jessica, we really appreciate you helping with Ron B. He, been a lot more forgetful lately, but we really appreciate you making him lunch, dinner, and breakfast for the next day. So we personally in our agency, we pour a lot into our caregivers, and that's what they. Every time we do quarterly evaluations, which I've been doing them from the beginning of the agency, that's the first thing they always say. We feel appreciated. You pay really well. I give bonuses like crazy. Like I give, if a client leaves a 5-star review, I'll do like a little gift card. So like, I just feel like I'm just constantly showering attention to my caregivers, and that's what makes them stay for me. But the turnover is really high. They don't get paid well. They're not getting good communication. There's no consistent hours. So that's a complaint that I've heard. I don't know, Lola, if you've heard what your experience
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. I agree with 100% with you. Like you said, employee of the month. It's. I don't know. I think it's a must. I mean, people have to know that. Okay, this month what they did and how it works and everything else. Beside that, like for anniversary of our company, we're doing big parties again for each community. It's not only like we're doing for Chinese community in Chinatown, we're doing for Cambodian community in South Philadelphia, we're doing this for Russian community in Northeast Philly. So it's actually 12, 13 different events in the different places. And this day they actually getting treated the same as, like, let's say it's a Christmas in September because our anniversary is in September. But beside that, we have quarterly bonuses. We have bonuses for if they are on EVV all the time and with no mistakes. I mean, they getting something for that. In the office, um, when we started actually giving bonuses to coordinators, when somebody calls and ask about our services, if they will bring this client on board, if they actually going to talk to them and explain and be very patient and client love them and they coming on board, they by the end of the every quarter we actually looking that there is nobody complained about them. They actually talked to the client and client came on board with us. They also if somebody send the letter about the coordinator. So those coordinators also getting bonuses, like in the office, who works in the office. Um, my HR one time complained to me that, oh, okay, some, I mean, people gonna send letters about coordinators or this, like we are here on behind the scenes and we actually cannot be appreciated enough. So for them, um, the more employees we hire, and we also have actually signing bonuses for employees who coming on board and bringing other employees. Uh, then we decided to do bonus for HR too, because let's say if we hired this month 100 people, and it's a lot of work. It's 100 charts. It's 100 the to check their criminal backgrounds, to check their child abuse clearance, to check this, to check that. Like, I have only 3 people and 100 people for them to get on board. I mean, well, I can tell. I can tell that they really working.
Mhm.
So there is some measurements for each department, and we set it up, and we actually are very thankful. Also, we have obviously we have nursing week, we have social working week, we have office day, which we do twice, and we go either. Last year we went, I think, bowling, and oh, we did flowers, the installation, like a lesson. And this year we went to salsa lessons, and the next one going to be in October. I'm still thinking where we go. We're always trying to make it as an event,
Mhm.
and plus obviously the bonuses and everything. This appreciation of your employees actually gives you so much
Mhm.
joy and satisfaction that when I see how happy they are, I'm happy.
Is it advice, mommy?
Do-
That was some good questions, Hans. Thank you.
It's
Hi, Lola.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Chinwe. I have a quick question. Apart from home care, do you do group homes? Did you know you ventured in group homes or just home care?
Okay, when we opened, I have an ODP department, which is for ODP. It's a totally separate waiver program, which actually group homes is one of the things which you can do under ODP.
Okay.
So we do only home care part.
Okay.
Because to tell you the truth, I mean, for me, I mean, the agency is big. I mean,
Okay.
I have like more than 2,000 employees.
Oh,
For
okay.
me right now, and beside that, I have a family, I have other businesses to run, and obviously, I just don't have time. I always was interested in the group homes, but in Pennsylvania, it's kind of, first of all, it's very difficult to get there. It's, I think Philadelphia itself, it's kind of monopolized. But for me, group homes were too risky. Too risky. Why? You actually bringing somebody to be with people who are very vulnerable. They are on a stage when, for me again, this people has to be one on one. But obviously, um, our government don't think like that when they putting them, few of them in a group home and only one person who's supervising them. That's what little bit scares me off because again, I don't see this as a safe situation, and that's why I never actually started it. But we do have ODP program where we actually helping people with their behavioral health and disabilities. But we do this as a just sending home health aid to help them through the chores during the day.
My last question. I wouldn't take some time. If you're going, like when you started, did you have to do your marketing yourself, or did you have to bring up money for a budget for the marketing when you started?
When I started, I actually started marketing myself, and I love marketing. Tell you the truth, I mean, I started in this field as a marketer. That's why marketing is kind of like my favorite part of the business. I mean, administrative part. Let's put this way. Obviously I'm not doing this myself right now, but in the beginning, I did everything myself. I wanted to know those people who are going to be working with. I wanted like personally to be sure that everything gonna go smoothly and they understand what we're doing and explain them how it's all gonna work and why I'm here. Um, I never been. God, how to say? It's not. I wasn't lucky with the marketers in the beginning because people come, they promise you everything, and that's it's all gonna work, and I'm gonna bring you this many clients, and then you're giving them 90 days probation period, and after 90 days you understand that they trying to tell you that, oh, it's only 90 days, it cannot be, we cannot sell something which is unknown in the area, people have to know, give me another 90 days. And I was actually I was giving people these opportunities until I realized that you know what, there is no one better than me who can go and explain what my business does. And first 2 years, I did business myself. And tell you the truth, after that, when I hired marketing team, three, four of them brought the same amount of clients, which was only me who doing marketing at the agency.
That was such a good question because that's exactly my experience. I spent a lot of money on marketers and marketing agencies, and they were promising me the world. And then finally, I was like, I have to do it. Nobody has the same drive. Nobody has the same mission.
Mhm.
Nobody sees
Mhm.
it unless you're the one doing it. And if you don't know what the marketer is supposed to be doing, you can't hold them accountable at
Yeah.
all. You don't know what you're looking at. So like for me, I was like, well, this is probably I'm supposed to give them 6 months, I guess. No, it's not because you don't know what it's supposed to look like. So like I hate to say it, but like You have to be your first marketer. I was my first caregiver. I was my first marketer. I was my first accountant.
Yeah.
You have to learn all the things yourself first before you can hire anybody. And for me personally, I was everything first. And the first thing I knew I did not want on my plate whatsoever was scheduling. I was like, absolutely not. I'll do everything else. But unless you guys start doing it yourselves, you're not going to know what a good scheduler is. I know some of you guys don't want to be caregivers, but trust and believe, I learned real fast what a good caregiver is because I was the first caregiver. So these things that you have to learn first, you should learn first. Then eventually worry about hiring somebody else. But I would learn everything first, figure out what takes up your most time. And for me personally, it was scheduling. It was an animal. I spent days scheduling. This caregiver called up. This one isn't going to show up. We have a new start of care. So for me, my biggest time energy suck was scheduling. And that was the first person I hired, not a marketer, not an accounting person, none of that. The first person outside of caregivers that I hired was a scheduler, and she gave me back hours in my day, hours. So figure it out first, guys. That's like the best advice I have ever heard. Um,
I have
we
a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead, Junie.
So I wanted to know from piggybacking off what you just said, what would you say would be the most effective marketing strategy for either a home health care or a nurse registry just starting out? Would you say it's just going out and building those relationships? Is it digital marketing? Where should they focus on?
I'll tell you the truth. I mean, I think we're going back to this question because it was in the beginning, but I want to add something here that um first you have to know what you're offering. And it cannot be a home care service. Home care service everybody can offer, any agency around. Find something unique what you can offer. If you're gonna go to social worker and tell her like, I'll take a summer load of your work, of your shoulders. Like we gonna help people to get into the program. We can organize them transportation. We can do this. We can do that. It has to be something valuable to those people who actually working very, very hard. And if they're gonna see how much help you are, yeah, you're doing this for free, but it has to be two-way. You cannot just go and ask, give me the client. You have to go and tell them, listen, try us. Let us help you with this, and that. Try us, and if you're gonna like how we're working, can you please send us a referral? It has to be something which again work two ways. You cannot just go and be another home care agency. Just try to see where you can be different. Like we went and we told them that we speak 13 languages and we have all the resources. So before that we actually like build this circle of services which this person can, who is coming out of the hospital, okay, we can call their pharmacy, we can call DME, we can call. So it's a lot of social working. Let's say I mean call it nonprofit, but it's a lot of social working before you even gonna get to this client. And when they see that you actually doing everything what you promised, I promise you, you're gonna be so valuable to the social worker that they, instead of sending it somewhere else, they will think that okay, if this agency gonna take like half of my load of my work, like why would I sit here and call DME and call transportation and call this when they can do it for me? And this is how you work. You offering your services and services on top of your services. This is what makes you different.
So I'm gonna ask the last question only because I don't want to take up any more of your precious time. But how do we get in front of those people? How do we get in front of the social workers? How do we get in front of the case managers? How do we position ourselves to do that? Because I personally was burnt out because like you said, they see us all the time. Home care agencies are coming and going like crazy right now. So how do
Mhm.
we get ourselves in front of these people so that we can tell them, hey, listen, for me, for example, I was in the military. I am very strict with my company. My caregivers are like soldiers. We are very, very disciplined. We have high accountability and I have the highest retention rate. So I have a pitch. I have something but I don't know how to put myself in front
Yeah,
of.
but whatever you told me right now, I'm a soldier there, this, there, that. How does this help social worker?
Well, so this is the pitch that I have towards the placement agents. So
Mhm.
my bread and butter has been placement agents. So when I go to them, I know their biggest pain point is that they cannot find consistent home care agencies that have high accountability or hold caregivers like reliable. So my pitch has always been towards
No, where are you going? What are you talking about right now? Hospital or
I'm
what you
asking,
talking?
yeah. So I'm asking you with the hospitals because I have not had luck with hospitals at all. And the times that I have gone in front of social workers or nurses or directors or whatever, they've seen like 40 of us in a week. My bread and butter has been placement agents, so that's like a whole nother thing. But how do we get in front of the social workers? How do we go through like the door to be even introduced to that group of
See,
people?
the thing is that I brought social workers as just a little part of it.
Mm,
Because what we did, we went to churches, we went to adult daycare services, we went to senior centers, we organized bingo for them, karaoke, all this, I don't know, playing ground and something for them. We went to the parks where there was a senior expo.
yeah.
So that's like you said, it's not a one way one thing what you can do and that's it. There you meet people, there you meet those social workers, there you meet anybody you want. But social workers in the hospital particular,
Yeah.
you setting up a meeting with them, you coming there and not with the pitch that we're a home care agency. No. You
Mhm.
coming there and you're telling them that we are social workers for you, the same social workers. We know the needs of the clients.
Mhm.
How can we help? So you're not pitching about home care. You're pitching that we're home care, but we have a social worker, or I'm a social worker, and I want to volunteer and help you.
Okay.
So this way they see
Oh,
they're not seeing you as a source of their not seeing you the source for their referrals. That okay, I have a referral, I have to give it to them. No, first they have to see you as a person who actually came there to help,
yeah.
not to ask, to
Mhm.
help. And when they're gonna get this help, this is how you make relationship with them. They are normal people. They will understand that okay, referring to this agency actually gonna make my life easier. Obviously, I want to work with you because you just came and you actually told me that you know, by the end of the day, if I have 18 patients to place, not all of them going to home care, right? Some of them going to home health, some of them going to rehab, some of them going somewhere else. So what can you do for those social workers to make their life easier? Do you want us to call DME? Do you want us to do this? Do you want us to actually organize transportation? Like I said, that you have to have the circle of friends
Mhm.
who actually can provide those services for your client, but you have to vet them very carefully
Yeah.
that obviously they're going to do a good job.
Right.
And if all of you doing this job and you're doing it very well, that's going to work.
Yeah.
It's by the end of the day, it's all about patient and his comfortability. If the patient found that you can do anything and everything for him, even if you're paying less than any other agency, but you providing those services, they're gonna think twice to leave you because when they're gonna go there, they're not gonna get all this,
Level of care.
help, extra help.
Yeah.
Some of my clients actually bringing their mail like this big and asking me like again because they don't speak English. Like, what do I do with that? And I'm putting one of my girls who actually have to sit down and do her job for that money, but she's sitting with him for 2 hours, going through each mail and explaining what this is the bill for this. This is you have to pay. This is your spam. This is you don't have to worry about. This is just the trash. So when they go through everything,
Yeah.
oh, that's it. Thank you very much. And they're happy about this. So that's what I'm saying. Like little things you do for them, people really, really do appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Lola. I appreciate you coming here and staying past our time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, this is the biggest turnout we had, so this is awesome. Thank you so much. hopefully we have you again down the line. And yeah, thank you again. I'm so grateful for your
If you have any questions, just you know my email. Just shoot it out, and whatever I can help with, I'm gladly gonna do it. And I hope you. I'm gonna. It's not the first. I mean, it's the first time, but I hope it's not the last time I'm seeing you.
definitely been invited back. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Lola. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Good questions today. Some of you guys are a little shy. I'll stay back if you guys have any questions, but thank you guys. I'll see you guys next Wednesday, following Wednesday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Junie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hans. Very good questions.
Nice, nice. Thank you very much, Mariam.
You're welcome. What are you guys about to do? Gone. All right, everybody's out. Bye.